I wanted to talk about one of the books that kind of still stuck in my head a little bit that I read a few months ago. This one is on the subject of World War One, which is an area of history that I think at times that I am deficient in. I remember learning about World War One in high school and in college, and it was one of those wars that for me it seems so long ago. My grandparents were in World War Two. They were both veterans, my grandparents. And so that one is much more personal. I didn't really know anybody who was in World War One. And in fact, by the time I was finishing up my college in around 2000, I didn't even realize that there were still World War One veterans alive. And the author of this book, which is right here, and it's called The Last of the Doughboys by Richard Rubin, he kind of asked that same question. Are there still World War One veterans alive? And if so, what do they remember about the war? Because he was also curious what they remembered. And so this is his account in 2003 as he crisscrosses the United States looking for World War One veterans, and he interviews them to see what they remember. Now, some remember quite a bit. Some have a lot of good details, and some they don't remember a lot. And it just kind of depended on the day or the moment when he was interviewing them. But these men and women that he does interview do give a great job at describing what it was like to be in World War One, first-hand accounts. Now, the author does do a good job of filling in the blanks and giving some background of what was going on during the part of the war that the interviewee was in. So that way you have a little bit of the context. Now, at times he did have to almost fact check a little bit some of the details, but again, with their ages being 103 to 113 and the war being 85 years before this, you're going to forget things. But overall, this is a fantastic book. I would suggest picking it up if you haven't read it yet, particularly if you want a good introduction into World War One. I gave this 4 stars. So if you get a chance to read it, definitely pick it up.